On today's edition of the Travel Magazine, we will travel to Germany's Moesel wine region. But first, to the cities of Johannesburg and Pretoria in the Transvaal province of South Africa. Hi, I'm Jake de Boer, and this is the Travel Magazine on location in Johannesburg, South Africa. Gold is the catalyst that brought this city into being. In the early shantytown days, people flocked to this area for the chance to strike it rich. Today, you can visit Gold Reef City, a reconstruction of pioneer Johannesburg during the gold rush era.
Gold Reef City is a recreation of the early Johannesburgs of the 1890s, and it's built on a gold mine which was started in 1916, and at one point in time the deepest gold mine in the world. It started with a gentleman by the name of George Harrison when he walked on a farm of Mrs. Oosthuizen and he accidentally kicked a rock. This rock was then the gold-bearing reef, which is now called Kimberley Reef, which can be seen at Gold Reef City. And you can see museums to the effect and see artifacts and memorabilia on the early 1800s. They can go on an educational tour in any language of their choice, and they can see the early Johannesburg, the building, the styles of buildings that was in 1890. They can go underground and 220 meters beneath the surface, where they go on an educational tour, see the Kimberley Reef, see how gold was taken out in the old days, as well as modern technology. Furthermore, they can go on to a gold pour, where they can physically see real gold being poured into a bar of 12.5 kilograms. They can actually touch it.
Now the bar that you see there is what we call rough gold. It is not pure gold.
After experiencing the gold process, you can also witness the ancient tribal dances still being performed.
And they can see the various other aspects like tribal dancing of South Africa, the various tribes, and typical educational stuff of the early Johannesburg. They dance for various reasons, and I would say various beliefs. If there wasn't rain, they danced. If they went to war, they danced. If they got married, they danced. And it was just part of the heritage of South Africa.
The local history is captured at Gold Reef City. You're then ready to enjoy the sights and sounds of modern Johannesburg.
Yes, Johannesburg is a very modern city and a very commercial city with a lot of things going on. Gold plays an active role on the JSE still today, and it's a live city. It's alive. And it's, I would say, the hub of South Africa because it's got the international airport, Jan Smuts at Johannesburg.
Most visitors arrive in South Africa by South African Airways, landing at Jan Smuts Airport near Johannesburg.
We're the experts on Africa, as we've been doing it for 60 years, and we're pretty good at it. For the 5th year running this year, we have been chosen as the best airline serving Africa, and that is in competition with no fewer than about 72 different airlines that serve Africa. You're going to see some of the beautiful spots that this country has to offer. Because with all due respect, you can be a good airline, but if you don't have a good destination that you can sell, you have a problem. And we have an excellent destination.
We'll be back with more on the Travel Magazine right after this, so stay with us.
Morning everybody, welcome aboard. My name's Tony. What I'd like to do now is just to explain to you the positions that I want you to stand in when we land. So you are going to
Another
hold on to these
exciting
handles
way
in
of
front me.
seeing the landscape and sights of the Transvaal province around the city of Pretoria is to take a hot air balloon ride, where you can float peacefully high above the veld.
There or there, all right? Jake, you will go down first, Jake. Actually, let's experiment with this. Do it. You will go down first, and then you will go down next, and you'll lie on top of him, all right? Lie back on him. That's it. Okay. We will operate from ground level up to 3,500 feet above the ground. But it's very much a contact sort of situation, so people enjoy being closer to the ground. They like to go up and see Hartbeespoort Dam and where Sun City would be over the mountain there. They like to see where they landed at Jansmuts and this sort of thing. But generally speaking, we'll fly maybe 700 or 800 feet above the ground.
It's quite an incredible sight, Tony.
Beautiful. It really is.
How high are those mountains there?
The tops of the ridges are between 1,200 to 1,350 above the valley level. And these are some of the oldest mountains in the world. These date back some long before Everest, and I think even older than the Andes. In fact, in the direction which we're flying now, it's southwest of us. It's the Sterkfontein Cave.
Sterkfontein Caves,
where Professor Dart
Yes.
found that skeleton, which they traced back to being, they thought at that stage was the missing link
Yes.
in man. And just burning again.
I fly for KLM Airlines. I'm a co-pilot on the Boeing 747. The sensation that you really fly. I mean, you're more out in the elements, and in an airplane, you're surrounded by glass, and so you're more in with nature. I love it.
To toast the end of a successful flight, you celebrate with a glass of champagne. Or you may toast the start of an exclusive Rovos Rail journey with a glass of champagne. Exclusivity and exceptional service are the key words as you travel on the finely restored train cars of Rovos Rail.
The project was born in Witbank. One of my staff members wanted to start a steam preservation group in the town. So I helped them acquire some of these old beauties, and we came up with the idea of running a steam-hauled luxury touring vehicle. We have a package which includes the 24 hours on the train down to the Kruger Park, 24 hours at Londolozi Game Reserve, and 24 hours back on the train. And a guest can buy one of the three or all three. Our fare to the Eastern Transvaal includes obviously the accommodation on the train, a suite of your choice, whether it's a royal or deluxe suite, all your meals, teas, coffees, all the alcoholic beverages, wines. We have 23 suites altogether, and it's a 12-carriage train. So we like to feel that on the train we offer them what they can't get anywhere else in the world.
The city of Pretoria is just under 1 hour's drive north of Johannesburg. The ambience is more sedate. It's because the civil servants and diplomats live and work here. Pretoria is really a garden city, filled with historic landmarks and monuments.
Pretoria is one of the best places in Southern Africa because it's a city with a lot of opportunities. It's the right position, nice climate, it's got everything. It's a vibrant city, it's a tourist destination, it's everything. It's got a country style which especially your European will favor. There's a touch of the whole world in Pretoria. You can feel it, you can smell it. The climate is fantastic. There's more than 300 days sunshine in Pretoria. It's fantastic.
While in Pretoria, you will want to visit the historic Voortrekkers Monument and also stop to see the Union Buildings, South Africa's parliament.
The monument of Pretoria, it's actually looking over Pretoria. It's well placed, and Pretoria is known by the Union Buildings. It's quite a landmark in Pretoria. The State Theatre, if you look at the surroundings, is where the new and the old met. But also, you will find your cultural expression in the State Theatre.
Coming up on the Travel Magazine, the Moesel wine region of Germany. The Frankfurt Airport in Germany is the busiest airport in continental Europe. The national air carrier Lufthansa and the German National Railway have joined together in directing their attention to the changing needs of the traveler in a new air and rail integrated service program.
The main objectives of Lufthansa and Bundesbahn are an integrated transportation system, both of rail and air services. And so we have check-in counters where you can check in already for your flight from Frankfurt. That means you will get your boarding pass with your seat numbers, and you will have your baggage through checked into your final destination.
One of the newest, fastest, and most sophisticated trains is the ICE that is now in service throughout Germany.
It is a very modern train. I think it is the best train which is running in the whole of the world. We have television inside, you can hear music and news, and we have a very good service, a very good dining car. It's a super train, and I think it's just for tourists. It's the very best to run in Germany.
The Moesel region has something for everyone. Lush vineyards and wine tasting for the aficionados, small quaint villages for those seeking the Roman flavor, and natural beauty for those who just want to relax and take in the surroundings. The atmosphere of the Middle Ages still lives on in the Moesel region. Tradition and customs have followed the traces of Roman history in the lovingly restored castles and villages that grace the shores of the Moesel River.
It's so quiet here, you don't hear any cars. And it's just especially this air. Even you feel the wine in the air. That's the special thing at the Moesel area.
All the towns and villages that grace the Moesel River have something to do with wine. And the town of Edegger is no exception, with lush vineyards that end at the town walls.
Edegger is typical. You just have to look around here. Everywhere there's wine. It's a nice village, small village. There's only living around 600 inhabitants here. And each of them has something to do with wine. Not everybody's a wine grower, but maybe they work in office, and just after they work in the office, they come back and they work in the vineyards.
The Moesel Valley is truly a unique wine-growing region. It is known as the steepest Riesling sun terrace in Europe, with grades of up to 68 degrees. This intense direct sunlight, combined with the reflection of the sun in the river, produces some of the best wines in the world, attracting wine connoisseurs and tourists alike to the Moesel region.
Oh, we have a lot of tourist attraction. The biggest one in our area is Beilstein. That's a very small, picturesque village, and you will see it's a historical marketplace, and it's very nice because it's like it was in the Middle Age. It's also called the sleeping beauty of the Moesel. That's why when you're inside, you think the time stands still, nothing went wrong, and it's really nice there as well.
One of the biggest attractions of the region are the wine estates. These award-winning wineries are the highlight of any visit to the Moesel region, and visitors are invited to sample the wines that are famous the world over. The Moesel runs deep in history and tradition. You can visit a small family-run winery where the art of winemaking has been passed down from generation to generation.
My name is Peter Stork.
I hear you have some good wines.
Yeah, you're invited to taste them. Welcome.
Thank you.
Oh, they are very welcome in the weekend or during the week, and we will offer them a very interesting wine taste.
Yes.
Our fruity Riesling wine, and most of the people like to buy the wine very much, and we are sold out very fast with the wine. But may I serve to you the very best champagne of the Moesel, Saarland-Ruhr area. It was winner of a very big competition, and we are very proud. It's the last bottle we own, and then it's gone.
But I
That's
feel
for you.
I feel guilty you opening it.
Yes, I do it.
Wonderful. Oh, for you.
I love it. And
Super.
It was nice and refrigerated, so let's look for that. But I think the taste or the bouquet will come out with the bubbles.
Okay.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Get a bouquet too. It's good for Sunday morning.
That's excellent. It's easy to see why the Romans spent so much time in this area. From the vineyards to the Portenegger, the city of Trier is built around this and other ancient Roman ruins.
Trier, first, it's really the oldest cities of Germany. When you're in Trier, you will notice directly everywhere you go, it's the Romans' life still. It's very nice because Trier is just one culture. And wherever you go, 1,000 steps, 1,000 years of culture.
From the ancient Roman Colosseum to the Grand Palace, Trier symbolizes the rich history of the Moesel region.
The nice thing in Trier is it's all one pedestrian area. It has its own atmosphere still, and you notice there's culture, there's wine, just the Moesel.
Like most of the cities and towns throughout Germany, it is the churches and cathedrals that are the landmarks of the area. From the architecture to the beautiful, pristine interiors, it leaves many a visitor in awe.
The marketplace is very interesting as well, because there not only the people, everybody meets there, and we have a lot of shops as well. Just take a rest. The best thing is you take a guide and sit on this marketplace and read your book, and you directly will understand what this book means, because you see all the nice houses around, and there you will always find young people around, and it's just life.
But it is the smaller towns like Trab and Trarbark that give you a true sense of the Moesel region. Visitors can relax and enjoy the luxuries of a health spa, or enjoy the quiet serenity of the region in one of the many bed and breakfasts in the Moesel.
The guests who come to Trab and Trarbark came because of the very nice surrounding and the very nice landscape. They heard about Moesel and they heard about wine, and they want to taste the wine. And what I noticed is they really prefer the very beautiful and very charming landscape. They want to walk, to be far away from the big cities, to relax, to get off the stress, just to sit here and to talk to each other, and to go into the city at the evening to have a nice meal, to drink good wine, and just forget what happened in the world.